So now we're ready to piece all of that information together in our intermediate training to come into our Superfly. Now Superfly is our first true flying position. It's our first real acrobatic, and it pieces all of the strength training, alignment, and pivot points, leveraging our power, all of those physical principles together. And we start out in our floating Buddha, coming into our peaceful warrior, which is our inversion. And then I'm going to go through the entire sequence to show you how I teach somebody how to be able to push up into the full pose. So I'm going to start with the swing high behind my back, pushing it down with my forearms, walking into a sumo squat. I can get into my Superfly from standing, but I'm choosing to piece it into the floating Buddha sequence. So in a classroom setting, you could teach it directly from here. Okay, so floating Buddha. I'm going to go through my vinyasa flow a little bit more quickly, getting the swing into the sweet spot before I wrap my legs wide and around to come into my peaceful warrior. Once I'm here, I like everything aligned. So I clasp my elbows and I hang for peaceful warrior. Then I'm going to reach up for my leg loops and get them on the elbow creases. Quick happy Buddha. Then I come into archer. Now this is the key. This is why I'm facing this direction. So from archer, I'm flexed. I'm not down here at my waist, in which I lose the arch, and my shoulders are closed. And then this is the big up. I'm going to squeeze the leg loops onto my shoulders for a backpack. Now that movement means my head is looking, my eyes are looking forward, my arms are squeezed together, and if I have too much weight in my head, I'm not going to be able to get those leg loops on. At the same time, I really engage through my lower body. So my legs are active. I'm tucked through my core. And then I can come into skydiver. I can untuck for skydiver, legs together, feet together, knees wide. This is kind of a rest pose, bending from side to side. And now I have to tuck again, so I'm going to extend my legs, tuck through my core, grab for my backpack. Look at my thumbs. They're not on top of my shoulders. They're underneath. Then I'm going to lift and press, 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 come up. When I press, I'm coming into my chaturangas. Now I like to keep really strong alignment. So my hands are tracking directly underneath my shoulders, and then they're squeezing together and on a diagonal. So not straight down, not straight out, on a diagonal. And then I have the strongest point of alignment. Then we can come straight out for our Superfly. Really challenging, but my gaze and my head stay lifted. I'm in a straight line, and then I can bang from side to side. Pushing one hand down, and then the other hand down, having some fun with it. And then I'm going to come into my toe touches, right? So plank, toe touches from here. So straight line, and then pulling up through the core, and then extending. They're really hard. And then I'm going to put the backpack on. We're going to take this one little bite size at a time, come back through my skydiver, which actually feels like a rest pose now, and then I'm going to slide into my archer. If I have a shirt on, the slide's a little bit better, but I'm just going to keep flexed for this first part, reverse it to come through my happy Buddha, and then slide into a wrist wrap, wide straddle, balance, scissor kick down so that I can land it in my sumo and find my reset. So it's really good if we stay seated. Sumo is our seated pose when we come out of a big dynamic movement. A lot of people like to just pop up and then they could fall over. So we want to give some time to sit and receive, absorb the benefits of what we just learned. So let's try it together. You ready? Yeah. So Beth's going to practice with us today. And there are certain sticky parts, and we're going to go over it again nice and slow. But let's start out in our floating Buddha. And from our floating Buddha, talk yourself through your vinyasa flow. And let it be really easy. Let it be slow. Let it be whatever feels good for today. Because what we want to do is wind up in our peaceful warrior. That's really our go-to pose to access the Superfly sequence. Feet together, hands overhead, take a pause, always resting for a moment. And then we're going to reach up, grab for our leg loops in our hands, pull them forward to get our feet back on the swing, transition to the elbow creases, Hands to prayer of the heart, arch, lift the chest, and then flex. So hands go wide by the shoulders. Leg loops will go on the outside of the knees, really important. Good. And then from here, this is the big umph. So we have to keep our gaze and our head lifted. Push your shins into the swing to get the lift. Yes, that's it. Now we're going to extend the legs and squeeze the leg loops onto the shoulders. Yes, it's a big umph. Okay, so from there we're going to come through our skydiver position. Teeing the arms, feet together, knees open wide. Take a moment and pause. So we're still pressing the back of our head into that invisible wall, but we're really keeping the back of the neck long too. So we want the neck to be happy in all of these poses. Okay, then we're going to extend the legs again. We grab for our backpack underneath. Okay, we have to tuck in order to reach it, and then we press, 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 come up. So stay lifted. Yeah, press, 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 come up. Good. And now our chaturangas. We're going to dip, looking forward the whole time. Right? So hands track right underneath the shoulders. Squeeze the hands together when you straighten the arms. Yep. Stay lifted. Look up. Look up. Good. Looking up the whole time. So wherever our gaze goes, that energy goes. And we have lots of energy in our toes. Straight line with the spine. Let's try banking from side to side. We're going to push one hand down, and then the other hand down, and see if we can get some nice spin happening. It's a little tricky. It's just like our swagger, but in the air. There we go. Whee, we just play with it. Good. Really nice. Okay, so now we're going to try for the full Superfly, full extension out in front of you. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Keep the head and gaze lifted. Look up, look up, look up, look up. Yes. And now toe touch if you can. So we go from that straight Superfly plank line to a toe touch. Nice. Stay looking up the whole time. Toe touch. Yes. Toe touch. Really hard. And then put the leg loops back on when you're ready. Oh. Back to our skydiver. Now in skydiver, we can also just bank a little from side to side. Gaze slightly forward. Feet together, knees open wide. And then we're ready for archer. We're just going to bend one elbow and then the other elbow and slide in. Reversing it, we come back through our happy Buddha. Leg loops on the inside. Practice the prayer. And then slide into a wrist wrap from there. Straighten the arms. Wrist wrap. Legs go wide. So we're going to balance, scissor, and remember to lead with the heart, right? And then come to sit. Scissor on down. Yeah. Good. Drop the hips. That's it. Awesome. So we're going to take a little pause and then come back and show you how to do some partner play in the swing. And we're going to buddy up so that if somebody's having trouble getting that lift in Superfly, we're going to give them a little assist. It really makes a difference to have a partner when learning something new to just help us find that alignment and that strength and have the courage to fly. Okay, so take a couple more breaths here and we'll be right back with the assisted Superfly.